As you go about your day, it's important to ask yourself, and everybody does ask themselves these kinds of things sometimes, but what their quote unquote spirit animal is. And, well, what exactly does this have to do with when they hate you openly, but they want you in secret or behind closed doors? Well, your spirit animal, at least whatever you think your spirit animal is going to play a factor into how people see you in some way, shape, or form. And really, there are three types of people that I can see. There are the people that are wanting to get their clan or their pride together. These are the lions. These are the lions out here. You have the hyenas, which basically just treat life as a joke, and they treat life as a means to an end. Really, they try to steal other people's stuff. They laugh about it. They just try to bother everybody for the sake of bothering people. And then the final type of animal that you could have, or the type of person that you could be, is somewhat in between. This is the prey. These are the people that just kind of, these are the average people in our society. And there's nothing wrong with being average. There's nothing wrong at all. But if you're going to be a zebra out here, know that you're probably going to be hunted by a lion sooner or later at some point in time. And although while you're being in the herd and while you're living the life that you need to live in order for you to just continue forward, and that's great. You know, you are just eating the grass and hanging out, doing what zebras do. All that is fine and dandy, but if you're going to be a lion out here, you have to understand that the hyenas are going to try to hunt you down. They're going to try to say that you're not a lion and try to claim that you're not a lion. The zebras aren't going to like you if you're a lion because, well, I mean, you're the one that's eating them, so to speak. You're the one that is leading them, and you're the one that's king of the jungle. So, all of this goes to say that a lot of the times we can change what kind of animal we become. We can change what kind of thing we are. We can change what kind of behaviors and behaviorisms we have. But this all depends on our mindset, and this all depends on what our goals are in the long term. If we don't have proper goals being made now, then and to even know what a proper goal is, like what exactly does that mean to have a proper goal? Well, it depends on your age, and it depends on your life experience, and it depends on where you want to go. Like, where are you actually wanting to go? Because based off of where you want to go is going to determine what kind of goals you have going forward. And it's also good to know that while it's great to have goals and it's good to achieve those goals, the goal isn't everything in itself. If your goal is to eat food as a lion, well, that's great. But imagine bringing home some squirrels to the pride after after a while of hunting. It's like, this is all you've got. We want the antelope, we want the zebra, we want the big boys, we want the buffalo. Where's, like, this is all you got? So, and to be fair, as what's his name, Tywin on Game of Thrones, he says something like, lions don't really care about the opinions of sheep, and in this case zebras for this example. But it all pretty much goes to say that lions are committed to helping their pride, and they're committed to helping other lions. They don't give a crap about the hyenas. They don't give a crap about the zebras. But they're not going to go out of the way. Like, lions don't go out of their way to try to hurt anybody or hurt any other thing. They only hunt for food, except for when it comes to hyenas. They have this like mortal enemy with the hyenas. Because they fight for the territory and they fight for food. And the only reason that I think they hate hyenas as much as they do these lions, at least as far as if you watch National Geographic type videos on YouTube or whatever, wherever you watch these kinds of videos, the lions are going to be acting in a way that toward the hyenas to indicate that even though the lion doesn't care, if the hyena crosses the line, they will get destroyed. And this is the kind of mentality that a lot of people don't like about you if you have the mindset of a lion have. But it takes maturity, it takes efficiency, it takes competency, and it takes experience in order to get to this mindset. And I'm only now growing more and more in this mindset. And I'm slowly beginning to realize that a lot of the times, low self-esteem and inflated egos are going to be the biggest hurdles for becoming a lion. And it's not necessarily always because of you, it's because of other people. People may seem to be rooting for you for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden you start to actually do the thing, and they start to kind of switch up the energy a little bit. It's like, well, what happened to that energy? What happened to that? Well, you're actually becoming a lion. You're actually changing your behaviors to have the mentality of a lion. And you remind them that they gave up. They decided to stay a zebra. They decided to become a hyena. You remind them of whatever kind of, I mean, this is kind of a strange thing to say, but you remind them of whatever spiritual animal that they've become themselves. And so it's almost like, because you remind them of themselves giving up on their dreams to become a lion, because most people want to be a lion, right? Most people, who wouldn't want to be a lion in this case? If you had to pick between those three animals, the prey, the zebra, the hyenas, disgusting creatures, and then the majestic lion, like, obviously you would choose the majestic lion because, well, they're majestic and they have the power to kill, but they also value family. They also value loyalty, and they don't run from fights. They stand and they fight. They don't care. They will fight for what they want. They will fight for everything that they believe in, and they will continue to do so because of their courage and their boldness and their tenacity. And so people with low self-esteem or fragile egos are going to be a detriment for you to become a lion due to the proclivity for, most of the time, men in specifically men that want to become lions get punished by society far more, and tested by women far more than any of the hyenas or the zebras out there. And why exactly is this? It's because the society, the women want to know if this is really a lion. Is this a nomad, or is this an actual, like, is this a capable leader, or is it not? And sometimes, for those that don't know about lions, the nomads, when they're kicked out of their pride and they have to go find a new pride, these male lions specifically, they have to prove themselves and they have to rise in the hierarchy of the pride through their strength, through their competency in hunting or and providing or whatever it is, even though lionesses do most of the hunting. But you've got to be capable of this kind of stuff as a man in lion world. So all of the males out there that actually want to provide and protect their family, it's almost like nowadays they're being punished for wanting to have virtue, and they're being punished for wanting to have a specific kind of tenacity that emboldens their lives and the lives around them in a positive way, even though at times it can seem like the lion is being a bit too harsh. But here's the thing. As a lion, you want to be around other lions. In the kingdom of heaven, like God says in the kingdom of heaven, or at least the Bible says, the book of the word of God says that the lion will lay with the lamb in the kingdom of heaven, right? Well, it's a metaphor. In here nature, like in the natural world, of course, lions aren't going to, they're not going to necessarily lay with the lamb, so to speak, but they're going to be able to live with the lamb in harmony. And this is what, in the kingdom of, like in this metaphor, what the Bible is saying here is that when you are committed to something greater than yourself, and that greater than yourself being God, and really orienting your life in a way that pleases that higher power, that higher source, and I will just say God because I follow Christ. This is what happens to your society and your community. You are able to cohabitate in peace with those that may not seem like people that you would be able to cohabitate with. And so by being able to cohabitate with these people, you're actually showing yourself that you're capable of something more, and you're showing and demonstrating that there is a peace that can be attained. And it's not even really attaining peace, but it's about embarking on the journey of life itself and coming to a point to purity through pain and struggle. But that's more specifically for the men. Women don't necessarily always have that life route. And one of the biggest inhibitors of our society is encouraging women to have a traumatic, tough, rugged life. It's not helping the situation because now men are losing their way to play their part, and women are losing their way to play their part. And it's like a dance, right? Imagine seeing has anybody seen the cha-cha or the tango or any of those like really like salsa dancing? Everybody knows salsa dancing. When one of the partners are not, like if the woman is not following the man, and if the man is not leading right in the dance doesn't look right. It doesn't look good at all. But when the man is leading, well, all of a sudden, like, holy cow. When he's leading properly and the woman is following properly, the dance is just, it is just a beautiful sight to see. I remember when I was in dancing class in high school, and my girlfriend at the time, she would always want to try to lead. And in retrospect, I realize now why that relationship failed. And because I would try to lead, and she would try to lead as well. And that was one of the reasons why our relationship didn't really pan out. It was because we were both trying to lead the situation. And ultimately, I just wasn't prepared to lead the proper way. that was on me. I just was not prepared to lead the way that she wanted to be led. And we both wanted different things out of each other. And me being, at the time, the simp that I was just someone that was trying to just be with the woman. I was just trying to be with someone. I was just trying to be with a girl. And so when I actually broke up with her, it was mainly for the reason that we, at the time, were not religiously compatible. And I got a lot of hate for it in my high school years. I got a lot of hate for it, and because I had like let this great girl go, and it's like, well, yeah, but like, and I was the one that was made to look like the bad guy because I had I had like hurt her. It's like I didn't. This is another thing that we do in our society. It's like women can hurt men all day long. Like women can literally make jokes about turning guys down and rejecting them in the same breath. Like immediately after they reject the guy, they go to their girlfriends in the corner and start laughing about how they rejected this guy. But immediately if a man rejects a woman, it's like the end of the world. And then you have all the shining white armor knights of simps rise up for the woman that doesn't even give a shit about them. It's absolutely crazy. And so this is also something that you're going to have to go through as a man is you have to learn how to really set proper boundaries and understand that sometimes when you set those boundaries, people are going to hate you for it. But you have to trust that you're becoming the lion. Who cares what the zebras think? Who cares what the hyenas think? This is something that you have to go through so that you can create your own pride. And ultimately you want to have that circle. You want to celebrate with people that actually want to like celebrate and win with you, right? Like you want to be in it together. This is what makes sense, right? So, and I'm not saying that you should like strive to celebrate because ultimately I'm just like look, I think we celebrate far too much in our society. Like we've got every single Friday or every single day is a national whatever day, and we've got so many different holidays. We've got so many different kinds of ways to get out of work, but then at the same time we encourage like super hard work, and it's just like this constant. The society is pretty much molded to make you confused. And then when you say, look, I'm kind of confused, people get really upset about it. It's like, well, just be a zebra. Don't just be a hyena. Just be a zebra. It's like, but I want to be a lion. Well, in order to be a lion, like, why would you want to be a lion? It's just these constant inner, because you're told you have to be a lion, but with a zebra mentality. And that's just not going to cut it. Like, you can't be a lion with a zebra mentality. It's just not going to work. You're not going to be a lion. You have to be a lion with a lion's mentality. And that means that sometimes you're going to have to just cut people off because they're hating you openly. And behind closed doors, they secretly want to be a lion. Sometimes, do you think the hyena wants to be a hyena? Like, when it looks at the freaking huge, muscular lion male with the beautiful mane, and then you see, and then the hyena sees itself like its own species. Come on. And guess what? This is something I learned today. The hyenas are actually a matriarchal species. It's ran by the women, and the men are actually at the lowest point in the hierarchy. It goes like the women that are leading the pack of hyenas. then the children, then the men. Literally all that you're good for as a male hyena is to procreate. Like that's it. So this is something that we have to understand going forward, is that the male hyena sees that other male lion leading the pack, taking charge, being bold. And the lionesses like that. Like true lionesses like the male lion and the everything about the male lion. And they are willing to do what the lionesses need to do to survive and to thrive, because that's what lions do. They do thrive. They're the king of the jungle for a reason. So if you're striving to be a lion and not a zebra and not a hyena, then understand also that sometimes people are going to try to punish you for being a better version of yourself. And you have to have the mentality, the lion mentality that is, to remain true and to stay on point and to surround yourself with other lions. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, may the grace of Jesus be with us all.